And welcome back, or hello for the first time. You are now in the gym with Jim. I am your host, Jim. And I'm with my kuya again, my dog Trizzy. What up, baby?
Today's a good day. Tristan, founder of Driven by Will. Thank you for having me, Jim.
No, you know what? Thank you for having me, man. You listen, I want to say something.
Yes.
Like we started just before we recorded, I want to let you know I'm in the gym for real.
Okay.
And I got the bounce back, okay?
Explain what you mean by that.
So in high school, I wasn't very athletic. I was talented. I wasn't very athletic. I wasn't jumping very high. I was a heavy kid.
Were you the same height?
I feel like I've grown, but maybe that's just me because I want to be 6'5". So let's just say I haven't grown, and I'm still 6'4". 6'4". Let's say
Hey.
I'm 6'4". Okay.
That's okay.
So I started dunking in like layup lines after high school. Maybe like my 20s when I took things a little more serious. I was a little more actively in the gym, whatever the case may be.
Okay.
And now in my 30s, I always said I want to dunk for as long as I can. Like that's one of my fitness goals.
Okay.
I want to be able to dunk for as long as I can.
Okay.
So, cut down. I'm working on my explosiveness. The knee pain is gone away. I've trained like my left quad was smaller than my right. There's like a couple of imbalances with like some tears and stuff.
Okay.
So now I was telling Trizzy before we started that I'm back to dunking. His question was, is it like a solo was where like you're by yourself and you put one in, or can you do it like in a game? Okay.
Big difference.
It is a big difference. It is a big difference. But the point is I can dunk. I want that to be very clear. I want that to be very clear. No one can take my dunk card away from me. But in a game, if a man is like 1-2 steps behind me,
okay,
I'll go for it.
Okay.
And I can finish.
Okay.
Okay? If somebody's like challenging me at the rim, it would have to be like the final play of the game, like, and I'm already going for it. Like there's no, you know what I mean? That's what I mean. But I wouldn't just do it like, oh my god, fast break. I wouldn't just do it like I stole the ball. I see he's gonna come block me. Nah, I would just Euro step around it.
So yeah, you would have to hit certain conditions for it to be.
Yes,
okay.
Exactly. Think of like solo leveling, and on your screen they're like you have to make X amount of dunks before you can take a contact dunk. That's basically what it is. Like, yeah. It's exactly what it is. I have to make X amount of dunks in a game or warm up for me to feel like, oh yeah, this is the time.
I got it today.
Yeah, this is the time. Sometimes just like it might just be a rim grade the rest of my life, and I'm okay with that.
Okay.
But I got it though, and that is the important part of the conversation.
All I can say is that if you're dunking in your 30s, that's impressive.
I think so.
That's highly impressive.
Hey man.
Because I remember in the previous EP we spoke about warming up your joints, etc. But you sharing this news with me is excellent news.
Look, man, I think it's important.
Yeah.
I think it's important to have like these small goals and targets that people want to hit.
Absolutely.
People like, yeah, you want the 6-pack, you want the flat stomach, whatever. Those are great, right? Like aesthetically, those are great. But I have a lot of performance goals I want to hit as well.
Yep.
Dunking is one of them. Or continuing dunking, because I continuously dunking is one of them. And then, small things like, run a 5K at some point this year, like those things, like just small markers to let me know I'm in the right ballpark.
Okay.
So those are the things I kind of have for myself. You know what I mean?
Well, thank you for sharing. That's wonderful news. That leads me to my next question. How are you? How are you doing? Like, obviously, it's been a week. It's a long weekend.
Yes.
How are you? Like your well-being, mental, physical?
I'm good. On the time we were recording this, it is actually Family Day, so I hope you all had a wonderful family day and got to go kick up with loved ones, see friends, do whatever the case may be. I had a great time. Got to go away, get some rest. Very, very thankful for the day, for the week. I was down and out, like I told you.
Yeah.
Randomly, I started sniffling, and I'm like, there's no way before the long weekend gonna take me out. But man, we fight back.
We gotta fight back.
We fight back. How are you feeling, man? How are you?
I'm good. I actually had some quality time with my parents, my mom and dad. We had a wonderful lunch. Got to celebrate the party yesterday with some friends. And I think it's one of those where I really need it.
Yeah.
When you've been grinding so long, and it's just need a method of release. Whether it's just being in the company of your community, just releasing the stress.
Yeah.
And the sometimes the anxiousness of a week that's to come, especially in a corporate workplace when the week is shorter. there's more deliverables, as you may know.
Facts. Yes.
But otherwise, you know what? The week has been good. No complaints. Like we're starting off strong.
Hey, amen, man. That's what it is.
Very happy.
And now for something I love to discuss with my dog Trizzy.
Yes.
Animes, man. What are we watching? What did we watch this week? The floor is yours.
The anime that I finally tuned in is Sentenced to Be Hero.
Okay. How do you feel?
Excellent. I'm giving it a really solid 8.5 out of 10. I've watched. I'm not gonna lie. Admittedly, I binged all 6 episodes.
Okay.
The first episode is actually an hour long.
It is. Yes. Yes.
And I enjoy the VA. I like the musical score. I like the environment. And I think just the overall art style is amazing as well.
Yes.
What about yourself?
Yeah, man. You know, like we talked about last time, we watched the same. You know, the big 3 or 5 first, the first quarter at least.
Yeah.
I believe Vigilantes is out too, right?
Yes, My Hero.
Okay, so I'm letting my Vigilantes just cook because it's a fun anime. Like I don't really have to think too much about it. But in that, I've been trying to fit in like other animes, like you mentioned the Samurai
Champloo.
Yes, that one. So I watched Jujutsu before I got here. I want to say during Black History Month, that fight between help me. If Fire Force is it
Charon
and Ogun.
Ogun.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That fight spectacular. Spectacular. And all the people who go online and say the characters aren't black, like they're just drawn differently. The man said his dad, had the Caribbean boat that brought the people over to Japan, and he would play reggae music because he is Jamaican. Who would have thought the character with dreads is Jamaican? Wow.
Also, shout out to Fire Force for conveying that. Like they had an actual segment for that context.
And they didn't even need to do that. Honestly, they actually never had to speak to the fact that like, no, I'm Jamaican, I am black.
Yes.
And we came here and brought a bunch of people here actually. Yeah, like they didn't have to do that. So shout out to Fire Force for that. I thought that was dope. I thought that fight was good. Both of those characters are excellent, by the way.
Excellent.
They are really, really well done.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, I started a new old anime. So a new old anime. I've decided that I need to expand my anime
horizon.
Yeah, my bag. Anytime expand my bag.
Sure.
I started it a little bit later, and I want to go back, and I started watching Yu Yu Hakusho. And I want to say my dog Yusuke, whoo,
he's a guy.
He is a guy, man.
He's a guy.
He is a guy, and like, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they had a segment from like 1990 to like 1992 or whatever that happened, and then they remade it in 2012.
That is correct.
Okay, so I'm watching the remade 2012 version.
Much better, by the way.
Yeah, the guy who had the Nazi thing on his forehead was kind of nuts. That was that was a little nuts, and I'm sitting there like,
yeah, I know that wouldn't fly in this time, by the way.
But I mean, yes, we're in 2026, but 2012 is it that far where like Nazi fans was
things have changed significantly.
Wow.
Yeah, I would say so. 2020. I mean, look, I was on TikTok the other day, and I was seeing stuff from like 2016, 10 years ago, and a much different world. Imagine 2012.
Yeah. No, it's nuts. It was nuts. I'm glad that character got dealt with the way he got dealt with, because I don't think I had like 4 more episodes watching on his forehead. Like I didn't have it in me. But to speak to that show, I think Kurama's an excellent character. Hiei's an excellent character. Kurogama's an excellent character. Like Kyoko's excellent character. Like I just feel like it was so well done. And obviously, it's not like the same kind of fighting where you're watching our boy Jinwoo go to work and just dominate.
Just clap everybody.
But like, he really went through it, and he's throwing hands. I think that's what makes it so sick. He's throwing hands, not like Windbreaker throwing hands. Like he has powers, obviously.
Or like a Baki, like a crazy.
Yeah.
I see what
no,
you're
he's throwing hands, and he's rocking, and then I might have to. Hey, I got a spirit gun. Like it's in the tuck. Let's not get crazy. If this gets out of hand, I'm gonna let it go. But for right now, we're just me and you right here. In in the Dark Tournament,
Oh,
when he
tough arc.
my boy whatever the guy's name, the British dude's name is.
Yeah, yeah.
And they said, yo, you have to put your heel on the knife and one foot in front, and we're just in this box.
Oh, man.
And we're just gonna throw hands.
Sickening fight.
Holy, bro. He let off 3 of his spirit guns. They had no more spirit energy, and you're just throwing hands. I'm like, this had me locked in.
You're locked in.
My only critique of older anime.
Oh, this is interesting. I gotta hear this.
My only critique of older anime is that they, similar to like Dragon Ball Z, even Pokemon, like all those kind of, they always, the spoilers of like what's gonna happen next is really deep.
Yeah.
Like it's not like a taste of like, okay,
like a cliffhanger.
Yeah, bro, they are telling you exactly what's about to happen. You're gonna watch it because it's good, but they're telling you exactly what's gonna happen. So like, I skip it because I actually don't want to. Like, I still want the allure of like what's gonna happen next.
Wait, that's actually a very. Hold on, I need to dissect that because some people actually really love that.
I think I really enjoy like. I like the stories, especially for Yu. I really like the story of what's happening.
Sure.
So like, I love to see what Yusuke's gonna do next and what Hiragama's gonna do next. So like, I just want to see it. So and because maybe like the oldest season, come at episode like 68 now.
Okay.
The recaps are a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
so basically, our goal is they have the starting of the show for 1 minute. You know, the opening, very good opening by the way, and then into like the 2 minute to 3 minute mark, it's a recap of what happened with different verbiage, which I really appreciate. And then they have the episode. Then it might end around 20 minutes, 21 if you're lucky. Then those last 2 minutes are very much what's happening in the next episode.
A look into
like no, it's like, hey buddy, here's a book. If you read this right now, you know exactly what's happening in the next episode. But we're gonna spice it up. And and as the anime goes on, I'm like, I'm gonna skip this. I just skip it right away.
I see. So you prevent yourself from interacting with actual spoilers.
Yeah, I just want to know. I want to enjoy it in real time.
So you want to go in blind every time.
For the ones I really enjoy, yes, I want to go in blind. I mean, it's already done, so obviously I could find what's going on. But like in the moment when I'm enjoying it, I'm cool just enjoying it as it's going.
Fair.
Yeah.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
And that's like, I think Tale as Old as Time, like old animes, like that's. I think the storytelling is very different from what it is now.
Yeah.
Same tropes, but at the same time, like the way they convey audience engagement is much different from now.
Facts.
From new gens, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't know, but I'm actually surprised that you chose that one.
Yeah, I think when you put me on the samurai one, it made me think of like, okay, what else should I watch? I've been trying to watch Cowboy Bebop for a while. I just can't find it all together.
I see.
And me and you talked about I've been trying to watch Gintama as well, and I just haven't found the time to like sit down with Gintama. Mostly because it's subbed. And again, I enjoy subbed anime. Don't do this. I like subbed animes. I do. Jujutsu Kaisen is dubbed. Like a lot of the ones that I watch are Hell's Paradise are dubbed. If you won't, hey, Gabimaru,
hard. Also, just for a second, if you're listening or watching, please give us your feedback. When you watch anime, do you prefer it subbed or dubbed? I would like to know. Because there's a great divide here on this in the studio. There's a great divide. So if you get the time, 10 seconds, let us know.
And yes, please let us know. And I also want to add that a reason why I like dub is because sometimes I like to watch anime while other things are happening. So like while we're editing and putting up these clips, I like to have anime in the background. Every time you look down, I don't know what's happening. If I'm eating food and I look down at my plate, I don't know what's happening. Yes, it's my fault, but I want to stay. I want to know what's going on.
Your own question, Jim. It's your fault.
Yes,
lock in, brother.
Never look down. No, man. No. I need to be able to, look at my food real quick, pop back in, and still know what's going on.
With all these discussions about like really great storytelling.
Yes.
Really strong, kind of world building where people are in the beginning stages. People start to become themselves. They understand what they like, what they don't like, and they start building things for themselves.
Yeah.
We're in a world where there are so many things that could take your attention away from you.
Yeah. Or
could even increase your interest in certain things that you never thought would have been possible. You were part of a very, very Sorry, let me take that back. There's a portion of your life where you were a part of storytelling and world building. I'll put it at that. And it ties in very, very, very closely with what you hold very close to your heart, which is basketball.
Yes.
And you were a part of you were able to share your expertise and really build a world of community through basketball.
Yeah.
And I am lucky enough to know about the playground.
Yes.
Something in which you've had in a portion of your life. You created something beautiful, and I'd love to talk about that today.
Please.
Right. So, Jim, like for those who perhaps do not know or are about to get to know you on a deeper level, what is the playground?
The the playground was and is because it's still around. Would have been the first chain of private. Well, yeah, let's say first chain of privately owned multi-sport facilities.
Okay.
In North America, we did our research on that, so that's not like a name that we just put out there. Like it literally is. Okay. So what playground started as was just a place for our development team, Toronto Future Phenoms, to practice.
Okay.
So my business partner at the time, I was a director of a basketball team and a coach, and he was like the head of the team along with the person who initially owned the team. Okay. And youth basketball, it's very tough to find a lot of gym time if you don't already have permits and you're not like the bigger programs. And for the smaller program, quote unquote smaller programs, they'll tell you, or hopefully you say in the comments, you understand, like, yeah, it's hard to find a plethora of gym time for every age group. We had a couple, but in comparison to other ones, it was very tough. So this was during COVID, just as I got back from Vegas, which is a whole other story. And we're like,
what year was this?
2018, 2019, around there.
Okay.
Yeah. So we were like, okay, we have to find a way to build a facility so we're able to practice and train and work these kids, because his kid also played basketball, who's really, really good at basketball. Amazing. Probably still is, but he's really good at basketball. And that was kind of like the project of it. It was a passion project that fortunately blew up into something at the time was amazing. We started with a training facility. Like, we converted 2 squash courts into training courts during COVID. And then we were able to build like a 15,000 square foot like basketball facility to the best that we could do.
15,000?
Yeah, best that we could do with our constraints.
Okay.
Based on like, we're converting like warehouse spaces. So during COVID, a lot of warehouses were closing, and the landlords wanted to get off of it because people aren't there no more.
And you saw an opportunity there.
And we just jumped in head first. Wow. Jumped in head first to a lot of spaces, and well, it was great. It also caused a lot of issues looking back on it, because we wanted to capture the market and do what we had to do, and be the first to, like I said, be the first to the market, be the first in that area, be the first in this area. We didn't close during COVID. We tried to find our ways to keep it open and maximize the best to our ability.
I see.
As a business person, we were able to get some perks because we wanted to stay open and landlords wanted people in there. So we got to save some money around other things, and it allowed us to operate the way we want to operate. But we ran into a lot of bumps in the road trying to figure it out.
That's fair. And from an outsider looking in, I in layman's terms, like, to really simplify my perspective on it, it's if I were to compare it to, let's say, for example, you found a gold mine and there's a gold rush, except you are the only people who found the mine. Now, that being said, how when you quote unquote struck gold?
Yes.
I understand, like you mentioned, like there's a lot of constraints, there's a lot of issues, there's a lot of a lot of limiting factors. How do you develop a mindset to be able to not only capitalize on what you found, but also scale in a way that perhaps needed so much out of you as an individual without really understanding what it could lead to, or the different ways that you need to educate yourself in managing these? Okay, in order for this to happen, I got to talk to X, I got to talk to Y, I got to get a signature from,
Yeah.
How do you do that?
I've been in business for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been in some C-level roles for a long time. And a lot of the management portion of it was kind of the same. And then for my love for sports and like my connections kind of made it easy to bridge the gap for a number of those things.
Mm-hmm.
The small, okay, well, not small, but the other things outside of the management of the actual facilities and then bringing the people into the facility, it was kind of everything else. It was like the building of it, what's up to code and what can be done during COVID, what can't be done during COVID, how many parking spots allow for, how many washrooms allow for occupancy and fire codes, and then if you build a facility that's close to the water in the summertime, what happens to the condensation and like how you do, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like those are the things like we had to learn on the fly, and a lot of it was trial by fire. And I remember actually, like a very, 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 very small segue. When we built Playground Durham, our first summer, so it was like a 50,000 square foot facility, 6 courts.
Yes, my goodness,
massive. It's in Oshawa.
Okay,
which is I think it was a couple of feet from like the actual water, or something like that.
Okay,
and in the summertime, it got really hot because it's a warehouse first.
Right.
It's a warehouse first. We didn't put AC in it because put AC on the way you have to do it to meet the code, you have to put AC and heat on the roof. It couldn't be on the floor and it couldn't be around because it's parking spots. We were learning this on the fly and we were opening for summer. That was the thing. Like for us to be able to make this work, we had to capture summer. Okay?
Okay.
So now imagine we had the biggest tournament, in the city in Ontario, whatever.
Okay.
That was running and there's no AC. There's like or things like get the moisture out, but it's just not working as fast because there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people there.
And they're competing, they're sweating.
And they're sweating and it's hot outside. The doors are open, it should be closed. Like it was a bunch of stuff going on. And I remember going on social media and I was just scrolling and one of the kids on the sideline, they posted a video because it was there's so much condensation on the floors, like the actual floors. They were sliding, like no sliding, bro. Like yeah. It was skating, like Olympics time skating. I remember looking at it and reading the comments, and I was so annoyed because there's only so much you can do, and you tell people like, hey, this has to be done this way to avoid this, but that's your business. And the way Playground ran, almost like an Airbnb. So you rent the space and you do what you need to do with the space. I can tell you what not to do, how to make it work, whatever. But essentially, once you're in there and you have the courts, you can use the courts as you see fit, as long as it's not damaging the courts.
Sure.
What they were doing wasn't damaging the courts. So like now these kids are sliding, courts are buckling because the wood is expanding because of the heat.
Yeah.
So they're pushing it.
My goodness.
Bro, that summer was so frustrating because it's your first summer and you're learning. Like you go from the first one you have in Scarborough, like 15,000 square feet, and you're figuring that one out. And then you go to Peterborough, which is a dome, which is a whole other situation. And then once you get to Oshawa now, and that's rolling, you think, okay, this is going to be the one. It's the biggest. It's finally
50,000 square feet.
You know what I mean? It's 6 courts. Like you have the biggest facility. There's no one is dealing like can check you. There's nobody.
I see.
And then you run into all the issues so early. It was heartbreaking because you're sitting in the office trying to figure like how do we fix this, and the things that would fix it were so cash intensive, and that's
I can imagine.
And that's where like people didn't realize with the whole building a facility space is like it's very cash intensive, very cash intensive up front too.
High capital.
You know what I mean?
I see.
And it's
that's tough.
Yes, yeah, it is tough.
And also.
Yes, it is. For people who are listening, if you hear any, it's just me rubbing my temples because I'm rewatching everything in my head again. Oh boy, sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay. It's really intriguing because when you hold something so dearly to you, obviously you want everything to work accordingly.
Yeah. As
planned. Yeah. But that's never the case, right? It will never be the case for the rest of time.
Yeah.
So I'd like to probe a little further. Like, obviously, you read these comments, you see the videos, and I imagine it's devastating.
No, it's devastating is not even the word. Like whatever's above devastating, you guys can put into the comments. Whatever's above devastating, it's that. But what also was tough is because at that time, me and my business partner, more so my business partner, were really like into the social media space and we're very accessible. So
I see.
when you look at other facilities, if you don't know who opened the facilities, it's very hard to reach because people have layers in between.
Yeah.
And like any business, smaller, you have layers in between. Like, okay, talk to this person.
Yeah.
Talk to this person. Book to this person. At the beginning, it was just myself, maybe one other person, and then it was him. So when things weren't going the way they should be going, people really want to go above my head as if we weren't business partners and I was working for him. So now you have those issues as well, but people that you know. So imagine a world where you have Driven by Will, okay, and it's me and you. You know what I'm saying? And people know me a little bit more than they know you in this scenario.
Sure.
So now when people that know you well enough, they like, oh, I don't really like that. Let me go talk to this person, and they do that over and over again. So now you're dealing with the fact that people are slipping and sliding on your core, and you got to figure out how to deal with that. Then find the capital to deal with that, and then deal with the customer that you brought in, who's now talked to somebody around you about things you and your business partner obviously already know because you've discussed it at length. But now your business partner has to talk to you about it, and then be like, why is this person asking me about things they should be asking you?
Oh my.
And it's like I don't know, man. Maybe because you are super accessible.
I see.
And you can't tell somebody not to be accessible because that's crazy. Like I would never tell you, hey man, this podcast right now, like turn your things off because I don't want to message you. No, that's not how this works. Once it's out there, it's out there. Whatever you put into the world is into the world now. So every time we use episodes, it's into the world. How do people take it in and what they want to do? Whatever. People can come to you, like you said, our friend who came to you and says, yo, tell him to stop, covering his face with his mic, which I'm working at as you can see. It's like the same thing. Oh, this is a very small scale. I'm just making this tie it all together. It's gonna be like, okay, we could have just told me. You could have just told me. I know he saw you in this thing. So again, this specific scenario is not applicable. But I'm just saying, like that. Those are things I ran into. I can't say people that I ran into that scenario where like I'm dealing with somebody who's so entrenched in business in Scarborough in general, and just like a big figure, and I am growing, attempting to grow in this business. Right. I'm there, but like attempting to grow. People like us go to the person who is the big business person. That's what I'm going to run to. So and that's what happens. So you're dealing with like the embarrassment of kids just slipping and sliding and this, and people are getting hurt and whatever the case may be. And you're learning like to figure it out on the fly, while also dealing with people trying to circumvent talking to you to figure out things that you have to figure out. You see what I'm saying?
I see where you're going with this.
Yeah, so that's
in all honesty, it's a double whammy. You're dealing with infrastructure issues. You're dealing with on-court issues, your environmental issues, we'll put it at that. And you're dealing with essentially who is your paying customer going around you.
Yes.
And now you have to deal with your partner explaining, Jim, why is this coming to me? So from an outsider looking in, to be honest, like it sounds like an absolute nightmare. Absolute. So my question to you is, how do you rise to the occasion? Like obviously there's a million things on your list. You need to find capital. You need to fix this. You need to be able to circumvent that. You need to do X, Y, Z for everything to run smoothly whilst everyone's breathing down your neck. Like what kind of mental fortitude does it take to rise above that?
You have to be crazy, man. It's worse than Nick, honestly. You have to be a little bit crazy, and you have to want it so bad. And even to this day, I never once thought it couldn't work out.
Wow.
There was never. I might have thought some locations shouldn't have worked out, and if I could go back and change some things, I would have voiced that from the beginning. I didn't, and that's on me, and I take full responsibility for that and some of those failures. That's why I always say, as a failed business owner at that time, because yes, there's experiences and whatever. It's okay to say you failed sometimes, bro. It's okay, like
it's necessary.
It's necessary, yeah. It's okay. So at that, there are aspects of the business I didn't do well in, and I can live with that because I've lived with it for 3 years at this point. Now that I'm not there, I've sat with it. I've thought about it. you guys, no one can tell me otherwise because I was there.
Yeah.
I did it, and the outcome is the outcome. So, yeah, you have to be a little bit crazy, man. And I never have doubts that it couldn't work out. I had doubts of the way it was going to work out, how we would get there, and trying to figure it out. And another point to myself is I'm always Mr. I can figure it out. There's a way to do it. There is a way. And while that got me to that specific chair or that head of that company or just sign those papers or sign those checks, whatever, it also was the one that got me out the door. Because I always thought that I could figure it out one way or another, and the other never came.
Wow.
So what it came down to. At the end of the day, the other never came. I thought I could make it out, and I was drowning, and I probably should have talked about a way to look at it, and I thought I was, and I wasn't, and I wasn't.
Did you have a support system while all this was happening?
While it was happening, the support system probably felt like they were there. I don't think so. I don't think so, but I'm sure they would say that I didn't reach out, I didn't ask the right question to say it, whatever, and that's why I say it that way. That's why I word it that way. I take responsibility for what I did wrong, and the things that I did wrong landed me in the chair, which I'm very happy to be in, by the way. I just want to be very clear. Like,
sure.
While it happened, it wasn't, it wasn't great.
Okay.
It was not great.
Well, it takes a lot of courage to take accountability as well.
You know what I mean? So, like, to our ego conversation, which is out now, episode 3. Go check it out on all platforms. In the Gym with Jim, 2 M's and a W. To the ego conversation, I never told you this. So
I'm here for this.
The day before we left to go to DR,
okay,
to summarize the conversation, it was either you stay and you talk to me about what we're doing, we try to figure this out. That's how it looks today. That's how the wording is.
As in, like, hash it out?
Yeah, but that's how it's worded today. I am lightening the conversation, so take it what I'm saying with a grain of salt.
Okay.
But it's either like you stay and you don't do it, like you don't go, or you go and you live with what happens. Okay? So.
And obviously you went, because I was there.
I mean, I had a time, baby. But listen, my ego was probably why I didn't respond the way I should have responded. Because I was good to go.
No matter what anyone said.
Yeah, I was good to go. No matter what anyone said. The conversation I should have had was been like, no, talk to me right now. I'll pull up on you right now. Why are we waiting? Let's talk about it right now. But I didn't like how those messages came across. And some of the things that were said, which aren't important right now, but some of the things that were said weren't about me. Like, sorry, no. Let me word this. Sorry, I'm trying to give it up without giving it up.
Sure.
The way the messages were worded put me in a light that wasn't who I really was, and the person that it came from, it bothered me more because you've known me for, let's just say, 14 years. So you know me for 14 years, and those things that were put into that message didn't sit right with me, which made me make my decision. But my decision was mine alone. It was mine alone.
No contributing factor. Just you yourself.
This was me, bro. I could have responded differently. I could have done some things differently. And I've talked to people about this. They know that, yeah, maybe I could have done some things differently.
Okay.
But when when people speak to your character specifically, even no matter how upset they are, it doesn't sit right with you. Someone says, yo, this guy is a liar. Not say that's what was said. We say, yo, this guy's a liar and he steals. You're like, what are you talking about? I've never done that. I never lied to you. I'm not lying to you. I've told you what's going on. I gave it the way I gave it up. If that's what you want to run with, cool, bro. Bet. I'm off this then.
That's on you.
And that's essentially was my thought process all the way through.
And did that thought process come into fruition? In a sense that, okay, this is what you said. This is how I interpreted it. This is how you interpreted my external character.
Yeah.
I'm off.
So yes, that's exactly kind of how it played out. But the end result was being out the door. So yeah, maybe I got my points because I didn't do the things that were said, and I probably did more and whatever else. But in the end of it all, like you said, it's a glass ceiling. So I got the validation.
Sure.
But I hit the ceiling, and the ceiling was me, you know, selling this and getting off that and whatever else, right?
Here's my question. It might be a difficult one to answer.
Shoot.
Do you still, to this day, regret the decision you made?
Today, no. I don't regret the decision I made because, again, I stand on those things. I regret how I didn't say anything back. I regret being a sheep about a situation, just tucking my tail and being like, cool, I'll leave it alone. He'll talk to, we know each other. Sorry. Yeah, being a sheep, tucking my tail. Like, I think I put too much stake into how long we've known each other and not the business of it. I think that's where that's the first time I blurred the lines.
That's very complex, Jim.
It's the first time I blurred the lines where I'm like, nah, we've been friends for long enough. Like, they should know.
At the minimum.
They should know, like, that this isn't whatever. I'm gonna go and do this. I brought everything with me that I had to bring with me to fix whatever had to be fixed. I had my laptop with me. I had whatever had to be done. I could have done it. And then when I got back, they were like, nah, which is fair. Which is fair.
And so your answer is, till this day, you do not regret that decision you made?
No. I do not regret my decision to leave, because when we first did this, one thing we said to each other is, if there's work to be done, we can do it anywhere. So, what does that change? If you're gonna be mad at me in Toronto, you can be mad at me while I'm in DR. Like, it doesn't change anything. I'm not gonna be by a beach talking to you on my. No, obviously I respect what's going on here.
Yeah.
But like, it's nothing changed. What's gonna be said was gonna be said.
So, okay, this is another very not loaded, but a difficult question, perhaps. Obviously, you took pride in what you were doing. You're crazy enough to believe that the only road is success.
Still do.
How do you? Oh man, like, I'm just thinking out loud too. Like,
Please.
How do you walk away from something that you love truly, like, so much? Oh man. Like,
you leave a piece of yourself.
What does that mean?
You have to know that, like, once you close that door behind you, and it took a long time to close that door. It wasn't as quick as I just got back and now. No. Once that door was closed, officially closed, and I picked up the box of my stuff and whatever else, I knew I could never go back to who I was then. Who I was, that person, and how I felt. Because there's more, like, complex things about it. But who I was as that person, how I felt, whatever else, like, that stuff, I had to let go.
Wow.
It was tough. And then to move past that now, I've made a lot of connections. I always hold my network into, like, a high standard.
Yeah.
But a lot of people that I met in my network also kind of knew what happened there. So the spaces I wanted to pivot into, I couldn't. Because
based on that.
It felt that way, right? But it also felt that way because they heard, like, a side of the story. No one ever came to me and was like, okay, yo, you're applying for this, but, like, what happened? Like, what's the reason? Because you can obviously do it. And a lot of people that reached out to my network, that were like, I have a role for you, but it's not this one. It's not this one. It's not this one. And I'm, like, starting to feel like, yo, I would prefer you just say no. I would prefer you just say no and stop dragging me along, because at that time, I really needed a lifeline. And I was hoping that somebody that I knew, that would trust the work and seen it, would be like, you know what, fine. Like, let's try it out.
So based on what you're saying to me right now, no one threw you a lifeline?
Not really. People that threw me a lifeline, they know. And they watch this today and they message me and we talk about it and we build. And people that didn't throw me a lifeline, they know exactly. And it's fine. Today it's fine. At the time, in, what was that, 2022 went away? 2022, it wasn't fine. Right? It was not. And 2023 was not fine. Like, I'm not going to sit here and act like I was. And to people who I thought were supposed to, and this is a me thing, maybe from how I grew up, I thought we were going to reach out and communicate, whatever. Whatever someone told me, it's like, yo, bro, that's not how that goes.
Do you hold any anger, remorse?
Anger, no. I don't hold any anger. For the people that I see, and I see my business partner every now and again, it's always love. Because again, it's 14 years, man. Business is business. And we talked about this before. He's like, business is business. That's how that goes. What happens outside of business is different. Okay. And where the line from, like I told you earlier, I blurred the lines a little bit, and that's what got me to that point.
A chain of events.
Yeah, that was me. He was business about it, and I was like, no, you should know me better than that. Wow. That was me. That was a me thing. That's why I keep saying I take it on the chin. That was me.
So having all these obviously things happen throughout a couple of years.
Yeah.
You know, and people like closing their door simply because of Yeah. How do you rebuild, Jim?
Yo. Again, being crazy helps. When this could be a little bit tangent, so just stick with me here.
Sure.
When everything happened, and I was still answering the phone, trying to take bookings, trying to help out, they were like, "Yo, no, just leave it alone, man. Do something different."
They said that.
Yeah, which is I'm happy actually looking back on it.
Okay.
Do something different. So I'm into panic mode. I'm like, hey, I'm going to go to school, and I started cybersecurity, but I also did HR business management
courses.
Yeah, like concurrent. So they were running. So IT was Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and business management, HR was all the way through. Okay, he was doing both. I'm like, I can't do both. And IT, you had to be in class because it's very specific. Obviously, cybersecurity, you have to be in class. Yeah. So I'm like, I can't. I gotta come back to it. So I left that, stayed with business management, and then searching for work, bro. I sold everything. I sold my jewelry. I sold my grails. I sold my car. I did everything I had to do. And I've told the story before. I'll tell it again. I did everything I had to do. Got off my house, moved back with my mom. Salute my parents for letting me do it. Obviously, well, not obviously. If you're lucky enough to do that kind of stuff, do it. I held on way too long to everything I had to hold on to. If I moved in with my mom earlier, I probably would have been in a much better place. I could figure everything else out. The car would have been gone, but maybe I wouldn't sell the shoes that I really, really didn't want to sell or whatever. You know what I mean? But again, neither here nor there. That happens. Move back with my mom. I'm still trying to find work. I'm trying to find yourself again. So now maybe you want to date or whatever, and it's hard to date. And as a man, I think you can understand. It's hard to date when you don't feel like yourself. Because what are you giving them?
Nothing.
It's nothing,
just
bro.
Baggage.
And I couldn't do it. And you're trying to fight, man. And like, again, you're banging your head against the wall. And you're applying to all these jobs, and they're like, oh, you're overqualified. Why do you want to work for this job? I'm like, look, I need bread, man. I need bread. There's not much more to it. I just need money. Like, I don't want to do this song and dance of like, oh, I think I'd be a great addition. I want to move up through the company. And a lot of people don't want to hear that either. People talk about it, but a lot of these companies don't want to hear, hey, I will start at this level, but I want to grow. Some people just want someone to stay where they are. And that's not me. So now you move, you get a little call center job, and you're beating that into the ground. It's like $19, and you just came up from a C-level role. So you can imagine what that's like. Once you get off your car, I have to go to Turo to like rent a car to get up and down. I get a job at Lululemon in Milton, night shift. So now I'm working the night shift.
The warehouse?
With no whip. Sorry, no actual whip, so I'm renting a whip. So all my money I'm getting from this is going to this.
It's funneling your transportation.
Idiot thing. And then all the stuff that I'm trying to do like to get myself through is all stuff I would typically do. So I'm hooping in like 3 leagues. Why? It doesn't even make sense. It's actually an idiot thing. Babes told me it was dumb, but she had to let me rock because, bro, I had to get through it.
Well, it's also an avenue of escapism, right? Like,
yeah, but sometimes, bro, sometimes you need to hear like that isn't good for you. You can't go rent a car and then drive up and down, then put gas in the car, then pay your phone bill and do all these other things, and then also give these leagues $300 a pop. Leagues aren't cheap.
They're not.
You know what I mean? And then on the weekend, start promoting again. You're making a little change, but you're also out drinking with your friends. And once you leave that, you probably go to like an AP. You're doing other things you probably shouldn't be doing. Like I was just trying to revert back to some sort of like normalcy. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And then fortunately, after a while, Lululemon, they were talking about like, yeah, I was looking at promoting and whatever, but it was taking so long to get to kind of like what I wanted to get to. I applied to the government job. I got through it. While it was happening, I got back into the gym. I gained some weight because obviously you're stressed, but like life started to feel like it was like normaling out. I stopped playing in so many leagues. I went back to coaching.
Nice.
I would find my time to go to the gym. Like, you know what I mean? Like I tried to find time to do things I really, really enjoyed that was serving me. I partied less. Mm-hmm. It looks like I didn't, but I did party less.
Fair.
And then I got like a stable-ish kind of job,
Yeah.
and I was able to like get a routine. I
Yes.
was able to wake up in the morning and do these stuff and tackle it and really start, losing weight and make myself happy again. And then while it was happening, I wanted to document more things. And I used to do the Baller podcast with Jibby Lewis. Shout out Jiv, it's my dog.
Shout out Jiv.
We did like 6, 7 episodes. Things change, whatever. And he was always like, "Yo, I feel like you should do." Me and talk about podcasting for a while. Like maybe once a year. He's like, "Yo, we should do it again. We should do it again." He's like, "Yo, bro." He's like, "That was something you were really good at." He's a rapper. I know he's in the fitness stuff, pre-progression. If you guys are on IG, check it out. But he's like, "Yo, that was like your bag. Like you were really good at that." And the people I kept talking to, like, you were really good at that. And I meet like my old teachers and stuff, and they were like, "Yo, you always good at speaking. Like you always captivate people. Like that was kind of your stuff."
I agree.
Thank you. So I was like, I was doing it. I was recording myself in the gym, and I'm like, "Yo, I want to do this more. Like I should just do this. Actually, I should just get a camera." So I bought a camera off Nick.
Yeah.
So Nick actually saw so many cameras.
Shout out Nick.
Shout out Nick every single time, and he gave me some motivating. He's like, "Bro, do it. Just do it. Cause like what's the worst? Go ahead and
nothing
do it.
To lose.
I literally nothing to lose.
Literally nothing to lose.
You know what I'm saying? Besides some followers, but there's nothing here nor there. And then I was like, and myself, I'm like, yo, I don't want to be like another podcast though. Like, I don't want to be another podcast. Again, nothing wrong with that. I just didn't want to do that because that's how we started with the Ball Out podcast. And I felt like that space was different.
Very pop culture intensive.
Yeah. Okay. And I also felt like everybody was grabbing a mic and talking. I'm like, what's going to make me different? And to this day, I actually don't know what's going to make me different. And I'm not actually worried about that anymore.
Yeah.
I just want to do it. You know what I mean? And
I love that.
In the gym, with gym started because, yes, I was in the gym, but like that's what brought me comfort. That's what kind of got me to be in the space where I'm able to sit in front of a camera and sit with my dog and tell stories. And I wanted people to be able to feel that comfort that I feel while I'm in the gym, whether it's basketball or actually lifting weights, to share their story. So in the gym, with gym itself, came from me finding comfort and solace being in the gym, getting in shape, hooping, whatever else, and then want to bring that to a audio/visual platform. And just sharing with everybody, and where you can share driven by Will or whatever story you want to share, and Nick can share those stories, and so on and so forth. And that's kind of like how we got here. So, yes.
You know, based on our conversation, like, what advice would you have, like, as take-home advice for somebody who, at one point, was at the top of the top,
man,
and next thing you know, finding themselves back at square one? Like, what kind of advice outside of being crazy?
Yeah.
What would you share?
First and foremost, let loved ones in. I took way too much on my own and said, "Don't worry about it."
Got it.
People were asking me about like what's going on, like how can I help, whatever. I'm like, no, I got it. I did not have it, and that's another thing with ego and pride, where I'm like, no, I can do it by myself. I can do it myself. I'm always gonna figure out a way by myself. Because again, like I said earlier, I was Mr. Figure It Out. Let people in. People who you feel are genuine. I can't tell you who to let in, but let some people in to kind of, let them hear you. Like say it out loud. Like maybe this person that you tell. And when you're saying it out loud, you hear, you're like, you know what, this is kind of crazy. Let me just, let me chill. Let's find a way. Another thing, bro, believe in yourself. And believe whatever you decide to do, whatever you're putting forward to the people, to the internet, to your friends, to your enemies, whatever, is exactly what you want to put forward. Don't put on like a fake facade. Like I said earlier, I am comfortable with what took place. It sucks.
Hey.
I miss being around basketball. But again, I filled that gap with other things. I coach kids. So shout out Finesse Basketball.
Shout out Finesse Basketball.
I play basketball. I am in the gym. I worked on my personal training certificate. Like, I've done things to kind of...
You're dunking.
I'm dunking. Yeah, you get me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm kind of like tied it all together while having a comfortable base again, where now I feel like I can be the best partner I can be, and be the best son I can be, and be the best friend I can be, and be the best, podcast host I can be, and whatever else. So like, whatever you're putting forward, just make sure that is as genuine as you can be. Not your best self. Your best self is not what I'm talking about. Be as genuine as you can be. So at least if knock on wood, it falls apart, if it falls apart, you can keep your head high because you know what? I was who I wanted to be throughout the experience. And to wrap it all up, I was who I wanted to be throughout the playground experience, and I will be who I want to be on this in the gym with the gym experience. So that's kind of what I would tell people.
Any final comments before we sign out?
Yeah, man. Look, I, I talk about community a lot. Find things you enjoy and keep that close to you.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever you believe in, continue to believe in. Don't let people talk you out of it. Like you can't do this at 30. I am currently 34, and I am and I am attempting. No, let me take it back. I'm 34, and I am starting a podcast, a content series, and I am making content in hopes of impacting somebody and telling stories, or allowing somebody to tell a story that helps somebody else later down the line. Whenever that may happen, when it comes to this, comes of this. Do things you really enjoy and keep those things close to you, and find a balance. Every day can't just be 90% work and sleep, and that's it. That's not enjoyable. Find a way to enjoy life. And I've been talking a lot. What do you think? What do you got for us?
Well, the only take home that I wanted to share was it's important to listen to stories like these, especially from somebody who has lived it, somebody who is entrenched, somebody who's gone through every single emotion as they went through the highs of the highs and the lowest of the lows. My take home really is to really take what Jim has said today, and maybe some of the things that he's mentioned today are extremely relatable, but more importantly, a lot of the things he said today are experience of teaching. And my take home for the viewers and listeners is to really understand where you are in life and take these stories that people who have actually lived these life experiences to heart, in a sense that there's so much to learn from other people who have gone through some really, really challenging moments in their life. And the final thing I will say is, as we wrap up this episode, we actually have a very, very special guest for the next episode, which I would love for you all to tune in. And we're excited to film it. But Jim, I learned so many things about you today, and I admire what you've gone through, and I think I applaud you for having the courage to share that with the world.
No, you know what? I appreciate it. I think this is this is be sound. This is weird for me to like vocalize because that was the first time I've ever been on like my own kind of situation where I could share it the way I want to share it and say what I wanted to say. Sorry, say what I want to say, and it's like choking me up. Like I'm getting, I'm getting emotional thinking about it because I've never got to share it like this way. So like
through the way you've always envisioned to, and what you've driven towards.
It's tough. It's tough. It's tough, man.
But you know what? We keep pushing. It's the year of the horse.
It's the year. It's the year.
It's the year of the horse.
Well, Young Thug say the horses don't stop.
They keep going, baby.
They keep going, man.
And listen, I know we're extending this, but I'm really proud of you, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
This is In the Gym with Jim. We're signing out.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna add one more thing. I didn't do the top of the show. Okay. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night when you're getting into this. And if you like what you heard today, please like, subscribe, share, follow, comment, and let us know what your thoughts are. And
voila.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening.